Hi there, everybody. This is Mr. Brad from the Sheet Music Art Studio, and today I'm going to show you a pretty simple and easy way how to draw Olaf from Frozen. As you can see up in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, that's our finished picture. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just very lightly and loosely just kind of roughing out the shape. You know, a lot of times I have students that they'll try to draw something perfect and exact right off the bat, and then they get really frustrated because it doesn't come out the way they want. So this is the way to do it. Keep it nice and light and loose, and just look at the actual shapes that are there and the lines and try to replicate that. All right, you can see now I'm kind of shaping in his eyebrow, and I'm looking where that eyebrow meets the top of his head, and I'm just shaping that around, trying to get the shape that I see on the paper. And then we're going to rough in the other eyebrow and tweak it a little bit. You can always go back and tweak it, and if you need to, you can just erase it and start again. And that's the beauty of doing it with the light and loose lines. Because you ever notice when you try to draw something perfect and you press hard with your pencil and you get these nice dark lines, and then you're like, oh rats, I screwed it up, now I got to erase it. And then you go to erase it and you get all these little shadows left, or little, you know, lines that are still there from your pencil. So keep it loose, keep it light, and keep it going. And now you can't see the bottom of my paper. Oh no. Oh, I think, there we go. Let's go up to the top. There we go. So now I'm just going to kind of put in his little twigs on his head, his twig hair, I guess that's what you call it. And just the very basic lines. And you can see how he's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going in for the arms, and he's got twigs for arms too, so you can make them kind of jaggedy and stick-like. Is that a word? Stick-like? It is now, because we can call it anything we want in our studio. Okay, I'm just rounding out his body a little bit more and starting to bring in the other arm here. And really, I mean, being a stick, you can kind of make it any way you want as long as it's, you know, close to something that we have here. So now let's take a look at the coal buttons he's got. And again, just very loose and light. We're going to shape them in. You can always go back and fix them. And if you can't see what's going on at the bottom there, it's because stupid me didn't move the camera for the bottom. But I'm just putting in his legs at this point. And if you look at the picture up in the corner, looks like I got him. Okay. If you look at the picture I got up in the corner, you can see that his feet, legs, whatever you want to call them, are just two kind of little marshmallows. Alright, once you kind of get the basic shapes out the way you want them, you can go back in and you can see what I'm doing now is I'm starting to make more definite lines. And they may or may not be in the same place that I started with them, but what you can see you can do is you can start going over those lines, defining their shape and darkening them up a little bit, because we're going to erase all the little scratchy loose stuff here in a few minutes. And when we do, you'll still have a nice line drawing. There we go with his nose and one eye. And he's got that little kind of like eyelid there, so we want to make sure we get that in. And his eyeballs, his pupils, get them nice too. And the more round you can get them, the better. They're not perfect circles. You'd need a circle guide to do that. And for those of you who don't know what a circle guide is, it's just a piece of plastic and it's got different sized circles cut out in it. So if you really want to get perfect circles, that's a really nice extra little tool to have. And you can get those at any place that sells art supplies, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, anywhere like that. Okay, now just keep going. I'm going back up to his stick hair, and I'm just defining that in a little bit more. Nice. And now we're going to go down to the body. And one cool thing about doing these drawing videos together is that you can stop this at any time you want, or jump ahead, There I go again, cutting off his feet. Oh, that makes me so mad. But it would take me an hour to redo it, so hey, guess what? You're stuck with it. Oh, now I finally started figuring it out a little bit. See his little marshmallow feet down there? Okay. You can also go back anytime in the video if you want and start, at the beginning or go back to a spot that, you didn't get to before. Don't feel like you have to raise the head to keep up with me. So here I'm trimming off his arm a little bit because I wanted to just show under that middle snowball part of his body. I'll define his marshmallow feet a little bit. It's too bad they didn't give him little mini marshmallow toes. Wouldn't that have been funny? Oh, well, I think it would have been funny. Like the kind you put in hot chocolate. Anyway, so here we've got our kind of finish line drawing, and I'm going to go in now with a black pen, and I'm just going to start inking over everything. And what this is going to do is it's going to give us a really nice dark black outline. And here, if you have to tweak your lines a little bit, make sure you're ready for the black, because once you add the black, you're stuck. You can't go back, you can't erase it, you got to keep the lines that you have. But if you need to tweak the line and don't want to follow exactly your previous pencil lines, that's okay. Just get them to know the best you can. And then we're going to do the whole entire sketch. And once you get this far, once you get that all inked in, you can stop if you want. Let it dry for a couple minutes, and see there, I'm tweaking his little smile cheek there a little bit because I wanted to bring it up a little bit. Didn't think I had it up high enough. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, you can stop here if you want once you get it all inked, and let it dry for a few minutes. And once it dries, then you can go in with an eraser and just erase all of those pencil lines, and you'll have a really nice black and white sketch, which you're going to see in a minute here, once we get everything inked. And see how on some of these lines, I'm not following the pencil lines exactly, but some of them I am. So the ones that I want to keep just the way they are, I'm tracing right over them. And then the ones that I want to tweak just a little bit to shape it out a little bit more the way I want, then those aren't going to completely follow the pencil lines. So just take a few minutes here. You can let the video play if you want, if you're drawing along, because I'm just tracing my lines too. Okay, we're getting there now, down to his marshmallow feet. Still wish they would have had marshmallow toes. That would have been awesome. And I think that looks pretty good. There's his feet. So how's yours looking so far? Something like that? Okay, here we go with the eraser. The one I'm using is just called a gum eraser, and it's just a fat square block. But you can use anything that erases really good. The only thing I would say not to use is a regular pencil eraser. It's got that pink stuff. Those are junk. Throw those in the garbage and get a good eraser. Okay, now we're going to take it up a notch and we're going to put some color on Olaf. And you can see here that I'm using two different colors for his carrot nose. A regular orange just for the base coat. And then I'm going in and making shadows with the darker orange. And you can go back and forth, lighter over darker, lighter over darker. That's called layering. And then you can just get it kind of set to where you want. And now you see I'm grabbing some grays, a couple different grays actually. I'm just making little shadows around all the outlines, because that's going to fix him up a little bit. And you can see what he'll look like when we finally get him done there, again on the right hand side. And give him a little shadow. And wherever anything sticks out, like his nose or his lip where it sticks out above his teeth. You can go a little darker, a little heavier with that. Make sure though when you are shading that you follow the shape of the thing that you're shading. So you can see me doing his little marshmallow feet, and I'm kind of shading across it in the direction that it goes. All right, here's a little darker gray just to make the spots that hang over a little bit more, a little bit darker. All right, going for some dark brown now on his eyebrows and his stick hair. And we can fatten those lines up a little bit. All right. Now I'm grabbing two browns, as you can see, for his stick arms. One that has the base color, and I'm just going in very light at first, then going to the darker and making some shadows. And you just go back and forth like that, dark and light, to get it however you want. And let's fill in his eyes now in his coal with black. His eyes I just did straight up black, but you can see on the coal that I'm doing light gray first in the middle, and then going around it and around it in the shape of the coal. And there, see those coal spots? I added a little bit of white gel pen on top of it, and using the gray and the black like that just makes it, really pop and look like it's got some highlights on it. So I hope you liked it. Hope you had a good time. And please subscribe and like and share if you want to see our next video.